Going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So I am finally back with part 2 of my 2021 Champions ranked. Had to take like a week break because I got my wisdom teeth out and I couldn't talk very well. So now that I'm back, we're just going to hop right into the rankings. So this is going to be spots 12 to 1, the best of this year. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Coming in at the number 12 spot is none other than AntiVenom. So AntiVenom was one of the most hype champions to come to this game for a long time. He was on everyone's wish list, and he actually turned out to be a really solid champion in my opinion. Not crazy, not the best, but he is just such a great overall character. So the downsides, let's get those out of the way first, is that a lot of the time you have to choose between his utility and also his damage, because as he converts those debuffs into the Furies that give him huge damage, you do lose the utility of those debuffs, so it is a bit annoying, but in heal reverse situations, it doesn't even matter because you just throw a special one and it's basically over. And now let's look more at the pluses. So obviously you see here there's a slow debuff, disorient, specter, and then it's like an inverse mutation where you place it on the opponent instead of on yourself like the other symbiotes. So what you do with AntiVenom is you basically want to build up to your special 3 and then build up to your special 2 by just continuing to do 5-hit combos. He's very similar to Red Goblin in that you usually have to go special 3, special 1, special 2 in order to get some huge damage out of him. So right here, we're going to go for the special 1 to play some more debuffs and also get that accelerated mutation on ourselves. And now what we have to do is rush up to the special 3, so we're going to get those huge Fury buffs. And that's basically all you have to do with Ancient Venom. You just got to get all the damage you can. Right here, we're getting close to our special 2, so you'll see all those debuffs on the opponent. You see there's about 7 that we can convert right now. We're going to wait till we get up to 80 hits in the combo, and now we're going to throw our special 2. See, we get 8 Furies, and right there. That was our damage, but none of those hits crit, and one of the huge things with AntiVenom is landing those crits. But as you can see here, just off the basic combos, we're doing 1.5k light attacks and about 2.4k medium attacks off of a rank 3 3-star. So this is just really, really great damage output for this low of a champion. And obviously, as you get him as a higher rarity, he's going to be even more better. And as you get him as a higher rarity, you can utilize that blocking power gain. But it's just harder on a 3-star. So that'll do it for AntiVenom. He's a great champion, and I really do hope I pull him out of this next 6-star featured. So that's number 12. All right, so coming in at number 11 is a champion that I do not own. So my opinion might not be the most accurate on this, but for me, it is Nimrod. So Nimrod, I basically see as the worst version of a tech Human Torch, if that makes sense, because Human Torch just completely owns the Mystic class and Nimrod totally owns the Mutant class, but I don't feel that he's as dominant as other tech champions in the Mutant class, or he might be the most dominant, but you can still use a lot of other tech champions and make out just fine, whereas in the Science class, Human Torch really just is the be-all or end-all for the Mystics. And yeah, so Nimrod's got a lot of great stuff. He's got some solid damage, a lot of utility off of that special 1 where you get the energy vulnerability on the opponent. You have the 2 modes, Titan and Blitz. You switch between them. I know Vega, I have mentioned him a lot, but he puts out a lot of good videos, so he's got some good gameplay of Nimrod. And yeah, I'm not really one to talk on Nimrod because I don't have him as myself, and hopefully I do get him once again from the next 6-star featured, because I would love to take him to rank 2 or rank 3 and see what all the hype's about, because he really does look like a really fun, really great champion. So this might not be the most accurate spot, but just off what I've seen, I know he's definitely in the upper half of champions this year. But yeah, for now, I will have him at number 11. Very easily could move up in the future. All right, and cracking our top 10 is the comeback champion of 2021, and that is Odin. So when Odin was first released, he was a very weird champion, and the fact that he would be a great use for the first match, and then if you wanted to use him twice in a row, he would just be completely useless. No damage, nothing, just an absolute noodle. And that's basically why everyone hated this guy. But I think in May, they decided to give this guy just the smallest buff. So basically, if you didn't have Odin Sleep activated, where you would have the amplitude buff, that's all you lost now. You don't lose a bunch of your buffs, you just lose the amplitude. So that lowers your Fury a little bit and also removes 1 buff on you, so you don't have the max amount of buffs for Odin Special 2. But even without that, he is still really good in those fights now where you don't have the aptitude. So it's like you lose a little bit, but it's still, he's a great champion, and you can use him whenever you want. So it was the huge thing for Odin, just the convenience of not having to wait a fight, and the fact that he can just clear a whole lane on his own. So that makes him so much more useful. Obviously, you can see here on my attack bar, I have 2 amplitudes, or aptitudes, 2 furies, 2 armor ups, 6 energizes, true strike, and just so many buffs on this guy. So he is a really good champion for buffed up nodes, obviously. Even like just in chances where you can get nullified, there's still so many cycling that you'll be just fine. And as you saw there, that special 2 did 20,000 in the red. And once again, I am using a rank 3 3-star. So as you get up to like 6-star rank 3, 6-star rank 2, the damage will probably be around 100 to 150,000 off the red bit here. So right there, once again, 20,000. You can just see how it'll scale up as you get higher star versions. So I love Odin. He's a great champion, and I really do hope I can pull him in the future because he is an awesome guy. And not even to mention his pre-fights, that just makes so many champions that more OP. So that is it. Odin is number 10. All right, so coming in at number 9 is once again a champion that I really don't have much use with. This is Scarlet Witch Sigil. So obviously I know that she is extremely powerful if you can ramp her up. She's one of the best options for certain Abyss fights. You can look at like Sweeta's channel. He has so many solos with her. She is truly a beast, and if you can get that special 3 up, place the degenerations on the opponent. But if I'm being completely honest, I have no clue how to play this champion. So the gameplay that you are watching right now is not like reflective of her true capabilities. I am just an absolute scrub when it comes to this champion, but I have watched a lot of great videos on her, so I know how she is like when she's played right. So don't take my footage as the be-all end-all. Look at other people who are playing her, and you'll realize just how insane this champion can be. And yeah, that's really it. I don't have much to say on her because I don't use her a lot. You see, I only have her as a 4-star rank 1 from the Summoner Sigil that I bought once. I don't really buy it that often, so I don't have her as a higher star version. But the people that have her as 6 stars and 5 stars, they have so many videos on her. I think KT1 has some solid stuff as well. So I'd go check out them, and you can just see the true capabilities of this champion in the hands of a good player, in the hands of a player that has her at a high star. So Scarlet Witch Sigil, total beast. I just don't really have that much more I can say on her as I don't use her that much. But once again, go check out those guys because they have some great videos on her. All right, so in our number 8 spot is a champion that I know extremely well. This is probably a top 3 favorite champion for me in the entire game. I love this guy. He is so fun, and that is Mr. Negative. So a lot of you who have watched my channel for a while know that I actually did not have him awakened for a long time, but recently I got him from a 6-star Nexus, so finally got that awakened ability, got those silver stars on him, and he is just absolutely unbelievable. I love him so much. I got ShangChi with him, so he's doing even more degeneration damage than he usually does. And honestly, his playstyle is just so unique. It's so smooth, so much different than any other champion, and it's why I love him so much. It feels like you're using a champion that's unlike any other. So what you do is you build up your dark or your light energy. You can land heavy attacks to get furies. You convert those into the dark energy, as you see there, by holding heavy. What you do need is basically Nick Fury and Quake or Ant-Man synergy for that evade charge, so you can double your whatever the power lock thing is on the opponent. Throw your special 2, and you can see just 7,600 ticks of degen, petrifies for heal reversal. He's just got it all. It's really hard to talk about him while he's being played because there's just so much going on that you have to manage. But basically, if there is a thing where you have a lot of buffs on yourself, then he is one of the absolute best champions in the game. So him and Spiderman 2099 are very interchangeable that way, but let's say you're on Icarus where you get Furies for every time that you hit the opponent. Let's say you build up to 9 where you need 10 until you start getting that degen. You can dash back to convert all those Furies into some light energy, convert into dark, and then throw a huge special 2. Or because of Mr. Negative's awakened ability, you can actually start taking that degen damage from Icarus, and you'll be absolutely fine because he heals from degen when he's awakened. It just gives him so much sustainability in a lot of quirky situations, and I just love this guy. So he comes in at number 8. In my heart, probably comes in at number 1 because I love this guy, but Yeah, I can't deny that he is a little bit annoying to play if you can't heavy counter and if the opponent is debuff immune. So that's all I got to say about Mr. Negative. I have an ultimate guide on my channel if you want to see that. So much gameplay of him. But yeah, I don't have much more time to talk about him, but he is amazing. And let's move on to number 7. All right, so spots 8 to 6 were very hard for me to rank, but I decided at number 7 to put Strife. And the reason I rank Strife above Mr. Negative is because he's just so damn easy to play. You literally just have to throw a special 1 or 2, a special 1 like a few times, get your telepathic charges all the way up, throw a special 3, rinse and repeat so you have 100 telepath charges, and then just throw special 2s. It's such an unbelievably easy playstyle. It's like there's so many champions coming into the game that have these like intricate playstyles where you have to do a certain thing right. Like Mr. Negative, you have to like focus on your light and dark energy. But Strife is just one of the most simple champions. You can heavy to get your telepath charges up, throw a special 1, hold heavy. It's unbelievably easy. Anyone can pick this guy up and not read his abilities, but as they play him, they just kind of learn how he works. And those are the best champions, like, just for the people, I feel like. And aside from him being a champion for the people, he is a champion for the pros. Suida was able to get the second ever Abyss Collector solo with his rank 4 6-star Strife, so he doesn't mess around either. Yeah, he's easy to play, but it unlocks a lot if you can learn how to like use his heavy attacks right, learn how to intercept with your specials, just get all the ins with Strife, how to refresh that shock to just have it keep taking damage. So Strife is an easy champion to play, but don't let that fool you because he is an absolute beast. One of the highest damage output champions in the game once you ramp him up. And yeah, he's just amazing. So I couldn't rank him any lower. And yeah, let's just move on to number 6. All right, so just missing out on our top 5, we have Penny Parker coming in at number 6. And now, once again, like Mr. Negative, I have a whole lot of experience with Penny Parker. I've used her in several events like Summer of Pain. I soloed one of the final paths with her. I've done a lot of Labyrinth solos from Star-Lord to Old Man Logan, stuff like that. And she is just awesome. She's great for a lot of nodes. I put out a troll video on her early, so she is just really great and quirky utility that just helps wreck opponents. Power Shield, you can forget about it because those red numbers and the incinerates will just destroy your opponent with ease. And yeah, she really just is one of, once again, the easiest champions this year to play. You just have to basically throw 2 special 1s, be fairly aggressive, and then get to that special 2, and you have just huge damage. So as long as your opponent is not incinerate immune, then she is a complete beast. But if they are incinerate immune, you do not get any of those flashy red numbers. You don't get any of the long-lasting incinerate damage, and then she becomes quite a noodle. But right there, you just see insane 10,000 nearly incinerate damage, and it was going 13,000 on the red. So Penny Parker, quite simple, quite effective, one of the best champions of the year. So she comes in at number 6. All right, so cracking our top 5 is Spiderman 2099. And when this guy, he is really just, aside from Odin, he is the true comeback champion of 2021 because he came out, the deep dive came out, everyone was like, oh, he's pretty okay. He has like slight damage, he has okay utility, but kind of niche. And everyone just kind of wrote him off after he came out in August. But ever since then, and especially in recent months, he has been gaining so much popularity in Alliance War with that 75% damage reduction when there's True Strike on the opponent. People start respecting him for the power gain beast he is as he puts those withers on, especially with the AntiVenom synergy. And he's just being realized as this insane champion that can deal with so many mystics, so many annoying little nodes that a lot can't counter. He is like one of the highest utility champions of the year. Like right there you see I'm using, of course, the 3-star, and I just was able to completely block out a 5-star Hulk's mitigation because of those resistances. And yes, his damage is not going to be the highest in the game. It's not going to be the craziest thing you've ever seen, but what he is going to be is just one of the most usable champions in any scenario, unless the opponent is debuff immune, in which case you are kind of screwed. But, you know, that's a common thing with every champion this year. They are great in every matchup unless you have one thing not going for you. So, Spider-Man 2099 is a beast. I can't wait to get him and use him on my own. And for now, he comes in at number 5. But with his growing popularity, I could see him going even higher in the future. So, total beast. And now we will move on to number 4. All right, at number 4 is the champion that I personally believe that might crack my top 3 favorite champions, and he is the champion that I want most right now. So this is Null. He is currently going to be the next featured 6-star crystal, either today or tomorrow. I'm not sure which one, but I have about 3 crystals worth saved up. I'm hopefully going to get him. If not, maybe Nimrod or one of the other champions I'm going to list later on. But he is just absolutely awesome. I love how he is just great for both short and long fights. Short fights, you build up to that special 1, close to a special 2, by throwing off those symbiote attacks with mediums and heavies. Get the corruption on your opponent, throw a special 2, fights basically over with all those armor breaks and instant bleeds. Long fights, you build up to like 100 of the symbiote things, throw the special 3, 99 armor breaks, long corruption, lowered power rate of the opponent, and you can just do crazy, insane ramp-up damage with this guy. He is absolutely incredible. He's got some nice utility where his symbiote attacks can't be evaded or auto-blocked, so he's pretty good for those kinds of war bosses. So I know he's not the ideal war option, but he's still pretty usable. And he's just honestly looks so much fun. That's my ideal thing in a champion. Apocalypse, Mr. Negative, those are my top 2 champions, and they are both just absolutely the most fun champions that I play. And I feel like Null could crack that, and also along with it, he is beyond crazy when you get him ramped up, when it's in a short fight, like 200,000 to 300,000 health pool. Just insane. So Null easily comes in the top for me, and as time goes on, if I can get him, I might even bump him up depending on how much I can do with him. So comes in at 4 for now. Absolutely insane. And let's move on to number 3. Alrighty, so as much as I wanted to argue that Null is a top 3 champion of this year, I really can't just knock the absolute, like, unanimous top 3 of this year. And this is going to be ShangChi, Kitty Pryde, and Hercules. Like, they are the top 3 this year. There is pretty much no denying it. They absolutely own. They are so useful in current day. They haven't fallen off since their release, and I absolutely could see why anyone wants to take them as their first rank 4s. Nolan, Spiderman 2099, I could also see why, but these guys have just absolute dominance in the current state of the game. So this is ShangChi, and as you can see here, he is just so good at creating openings. That's the best thing about this champion. You can literally just attack into your opponent with no worries whenever you want. If he's blocking, sure, 4-hit combo into the block, you get unblockable. If you want to do a 5-hit combo, you get a stun. You can throw off more combos. You want a slow debuff, you just do a 2-hit combo. Are you suffering from a lot of bleeds? Just throw a 3-hit combo. There's so much utility packed into such an easy kit if you can learn how to use it. I get for a beginning player, it's going to be pretty confusing learning all these things with these combos. But if you can learn how to it's not that hard of a process. You learn how to use them and just ramp up those chi charges, and then you are absolutely set for life. His basic hits aren't too bad either. You see right there, that was about a 6,000 medium, so obviously nothing crazy and stuff, but it also gets a little bit higher as the fight goes on. Not by a lot, but a little bit. And right here, we're getting ready to that special 3. That was a 12k heavy attack, so not the best, but hey, not bad at all. 34 chi charges. Now, this is why ShangChi is amazing. Get ready. And here shows why. 54,000, 41,000 3 times, and then a 98,000 crit. And that's all without the red damage that was also there. So he's a beast. I don't need to speak any more about him. Everyone knows he's amazing. And yeah, that'll do it for him. All right, so coming in that number 2 spot, we have Kitty Pryde. And Kitty and Hercules basically were the unanimous top 2 this year. They both just absolutely dominated the contest, and they're both considered to be the best champions in their class when released. Maybe not so much as Kitty Pryde, because you have still insane champs in the mutant class, but you cannot deny the impact she's had on the game. She was basically brought into this game to get rid of a certain war node, which I do not remember what it was, but I think it was True Sense or True Focus. It essentially meant that while phasing, you could still be hit, which is something that Kitty Pryde is excelling at, because she does not take damage while she is phasing. And what I mean by this is that she can be hit while in her phase, unlike Ghost where it just goes through her. You can be hit by Kitty Pryde in her phase and then just be absolutely fine with that node, because you won't be taking any damage because you'll be phased, and you won't have to worry about anything. So she's really great at that. Obviously, she has huge special attack damage being in the mutant class. She's got a solid ramp up for long fights. And the only reason I didn't put her at number 1 is because sometimes in order to get really just stupid damage, you do need to use her synergies. And then if you don't have them, then I can't recommend that you use her all the time, as like someone like Ghost would be better if you only have to bring in like the Wasp synergy, whereas Kitty Pryde you might want to bring in 1 or 2 of them. So that's the only downside with her. Otherwise, she's a total beast. Legacy's taking her to rank 4, has some awesome gameplay out on his channel. And yeah, once again, I hope I can get her in this next 6-star feature as well. So she comes in at number 2, an absolutely undeniably amazing champion. Alright, so coming in at the number 1 spot, I'm sure this won't be a surprise to anyone, it is Hercules. So, Hercules, what can I say? He's just absolutely become one of the best champions of the game. I think easily the best in the Cosmic class. He can just do absolutely anything you want him to do. Because the thing is, with all these other champions on the list, they need something in order to make them usable. But Hercules just doesn't really need anything. Like, obviously, these armor breaks are from a synergy. You don't need them. So even if the opponent is debuff immune, you're fine. If the opponent is immune, or if they can, nullify some of your buffs, you're okay because you have a good amount of them. He has True Sense, whatever that thing is, that ignores auto block. And it's just like, Hercules does everything. And right here, you're going to see I'm going to throw off a special 2. Intercepts are so easy with this guy. You have the taunts, you have the crits and the precisions, you have so much damage. Just, it's absolutely absurd. When he's with those feats of strength, he's basically stun immune. So most of the fight, he's actually stun immune. And I just can't say anything more that hasn't been said about Hercules. He is unbelievable. Karate Mike has so many videos on him. KT1 has videos. Everybody that plays this game like at a high level has videos of Hercules because he is that good. So I do not need to say anything much more about this guy. He's the best of the year, and he's one of the best champions of all time. So that'll do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.